The Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any sense.
Sheryl Swoopes has completely lost her footing. She boldly stood up, puffed out her chest, and made the firm claim that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever would struggle to draw in top free agents. Fast forward a few months, and Indiana just pulled off one of the most impressive free agency performances in the league's history. Meanwhile, Sheryl is left looking like a broken Magic 8-ball, always wrong, and frantically trying to offer a more accurate forecast. Someone should really check on her because, at this point, the Fever's success has completely undermined whatever credibility she had remaining.
In the Fever, we're like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot. Yeah. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
want to be here.
This is where I want.
Let's pause for a moment. Yes, Sheryl Swoopes is undeniably a Hall of Famer and a true icon in the game. But recently, she's been playing the role of a full-time Caitlin Clark critic, working overtime to spread some pretty bad takes. She boldly stated that the Fever wouldn't be able to secure top-tier talent due to alleged locker room problems. But here we are. Contracts are signed, deals are finalized, and Indiana has built a powerhouse team. Meanwhile, Sheryl is left on the sidelines, trying to pretend she didn't completely miss the mark on yet another prediction.
Stephanie White came in and said, okay, hold up. Let me go to Indeed.com and Indeed get some free agents to come in here that want to play, that are accomplished, seasoned veterans. She did all that. Cheryl's been nowhere to be found. Sheryl got a lot of crow to eat, folks. Sheryl could be choking on crow right now. She need that Heimlich maneuver. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, tell her it's okay to come out and talk and say, man, you was wrong. It's okay.
I can just picture Sheryl scrolling through her phone, completely stunned. No way these players actually chose Indiana, she must have muttered to herself. But yes, it happened. Natasha Howard, Dana Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and even Asia Wilson's close friend, Sydney Colson, are all now part of the Fever. They didn't just win free agency, they completely dominated it. And when Colson was asked why she decided to sign with Indiana,
talked to Sydney Colson today. She said that Kelsey Mitchell was actually the first person she hit up because they built a bond here, playing AU for the last 3 years. She said she heard some good things about Caitlin Clark from her Aces teammate Kate Martin as well, so that made the decision easy.
Oh, the irony. Sydney Colson specifically mentioned her desire to play alongside Kelsey Mitchell, one of the very players Sheryl Swoopes had previously written off. And of course, she wanted to team up with Caitlin Clark, the same Caitlin Clark Sheryl confidently stated would need years to adapt to the WNBA. Years, really? Meanwhile, Clark is effortlessly putting up 40-point games, while Swoopes' takes are aging like a gallon of milk left out in the sun.
WNBA MVPs in your career, would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
I can't. Bro, Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin is dominant.
At this point, hating on Caitlin Clark seems to have turned into a professional sport, and Sheryl Swoopes is absolutely gunning for the gold medal. In fact, she's probably sweeping the podium gold, silver, and bronze, standing there with a sour look, while the Fever continue to celebrate another huge win. Oh, Caitlin won't translate. To the WNBA? Yeah, try telling that to Indiana, who's stacking elite talent like they're building the Avengers. Caitlin Clark isn't struggling, she's thriving. And the Fever? They're right there alongside her, proving every single doubter, including Swoopes, completely wrong.
No, but players who will be free agents next year. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Let's be real for a moment. The real reason some WNBA veterans and self-proclaimed legends can't stand Caitlin Clark is because she didn't wait for her turn. She didn't ask for permission, nor did she ease into the league with a "I hope I fit in" mindset. No, she stormed in, broke 62 records, connected with the fans, and single-handedly took women's basketball to levels no one had seen before. And that absolutely drives them crazy.
What do you do, peeps? Sheryl Swoopes is been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got a APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave.
Caitlin Clark didn't wait for anyone's blessing to become the sport's leading figure. She's gained more international fame than half the WNBA roster, and that's just what happens when you're a generational talent. Sheryl Swoopes, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, and the whole Auntie Clark squad are going to have to accept that. While they're busy griping, Caitlin is out there breaking records, selling out arenas, and making the Indiana Fever the hottest team in the league. Just think about it. The Indiana Fever, a franchise once overlooked and insignificant, is now at the heart of women's basketball. A year ago, they were off the radar, but now they're the most thrilling team to watch. That's not just a mark of success. It's a clear sign of who's truly shaping the game.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
So Sheryl, what's the deal with your prediction that players wouldn't want to join Indiana? Were you talking to ghosts of past teams? Because right now, top-tier talent is signing with the Fever as if it's the most sought-after spot in the league. Did she really think Caitlin Clark would struggle to attract players? Let's be honest, this situation speaks for itself.
Further, when a game that Sheryl Swoopes was calling for the Dallas Wings, where the commentator was talking about how great Caitlin Clark had been playing, Sheryl Swoopes, silent for 60 seconds, didn't even want to address it. And it got so bad that the game that Dallas then went to play against the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, after the domination of the Chicago Sky, Sheryl Swoopes got pulled from the broad.
Someone needs to check on Sheryl because it seems like she's still stuck in 2002, back when the Indiana Fever were cobbling together rosters like they were hosting open tryouts at the local YMCA. Newsflash: times have changed. This isn't Tamika Catchings carrying a team of part-time gym teachers to the playoffs anymore. The Fever aren't struggling to bring in talent, they're stacked. Natasha Howard, a defensive powerhouse, a champion, and an offensive force, all in one, chose to sign with Indiana. And when she did, it was crystal clear. She wanted to be here.
It's going to be Caitlin Clark Flash Show. So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision on the court. Because that's like, as soon as she gets the ball in her hand, she's throwing it up because she already see the person down the court before she even get the ball in her hand. So that's one thing I love about her vision on the court. I really can't wait to catch all those passes and give her all the assists that she needs.
Dana Bonner, a force on the court and one of the league's most seasoned players, didn't waste any time making her presence known in Indiana. As soon as she signed, she hit Twitter hard, clapping back at the Fever critics and making a statement before even playing a single game.
I think she's a great player. I'm happy to be on the side of her now instead of guarding her. Of course, she's a dynamic player, and you see that in what she's done in her rookie year. And I'm actually excited to see what she's going to do her second year in the league with a little bit, more experience and understanding a little bit more.
Sophie Cunningham, with her fiery attitude, confidence, and enough trash talk to last all season, made it clear who she wanted to team up with. And yep, you guessed it, Caitlin Clark.
Honest, I am just so excited to be here. I'm from the Midwest, and so for me to kind of get back to my roots and be close to my family, I'm so excited. Like when I say that I am refreshed and I am motivated, and I just kind of feel like my spark is back. Everyone thinks I've been feisty. You've not even seen the feisty side of me yet, so this should be really fun. But for me, I'm excited to be closer to home. I'm excited to deep dive into the community of Indiana. I've already met a lot of really cool people. I'm excited to inspire the next generation of young boys and girls around here, get to know the community more. But I promise you that I'm just ready to win. I'm ready to win. I'm ready for y'all to be there. But like I said, you guys haven't even seen feisty.
Sydney Colson might not be putting up 25 points a game, but she's about to turn that locker room into the most high-energy, electric environment the Fever have ever seen. The chemistry is off the charts. Do you notice a trend? These aren't just role players filling out the roster for depth. These are bona fide WNBA stars, key contributors, and they're choosing to play alongside Caitlin Clark, Aya Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. So, while Sheryl Swoopes is scrambling to defend yet another of her misguided predictions, the Indiana Fever are quietly building something extraordinary. Maybe Sheryl needs an eye exam, because it's clear she wasn't talking about Indiana. Perhaps she was referring to the Las Vegas Aces, struggling to sell tickets, or the Chicago Sky, who just lost their top scorer without a backup plan. Or maybe she meant the Connecticut Sun, a team falling apart before our eyes. Meanwhile, Indiana isn't just here to compete, they're here to dominate.
That I'm very excited, and I really agree with a lot of the moves the Indiana Fever have made. There's not been one trade or pickup that the Indiana Fever have made that I have not been on board with. I'm on board with every single one. And I just want to say, the fact that the Indiana Fever have gone out and got these great players like a Natasha Howard, like a DeWanna Bonner, like a Sophie Cunningham, the fact that they've gone out and got these great players shows that they believe Caitlin Clark is great right now. They are on board with the Caitlin Clark vision, and it just makes me happy because they're not treating Caitlin Clark like a rookie who is gonna be good in 10 years. No, they're treating her like a superstar who is good right now.
Sheryl Swoopes truly believed she was about to drop some groundbreaking wisdom with those free agency comments. She jumped on that podcast, acting like she was revealing classified info. But instead, all she did was expose the little credibility she had left. Honestly, is anyone surprised at this point? Sheryl's been dishing out poor takes like it's her full-time gig. If there were an award for most embarrassing predictions, she'd have a guaranteed spot in the Hall of Fame.
Fever. And by the way, every single narrative about the Fever is like whatever about them signing Sophie Cunningham, who they don't like. They love DeWanna Bonner. Like these people, they signed DeWanna Bonner. And again, they were saying, like, we have actual people working for networks being like, DeWanna Bonner will never sign for the Fever for obvious reasons. And I'm like, what are the obvious reasons? Genuinely, what are the obvious reasons? They are basketball.
What's next? Is Sheryl going to argue Caitlin Clark isn't a generational talent? Or maybe claim Angel Reese is somehow the best player in the league? At this point, Sheryl could tell me water is wet, and I'd still feel the urge to double check. And now, with all these free agent signings, the Indiana Fever aren't just looking like a competitive team, they're shaping up to be the model for success. The best part? The same players Sheryl was so sure wouldn't even consider. Indiana are now packing their bags and asking, where do I sign?
See it. I'm really trying here not to crash out, okay? I can't take too much more. I just said the other day, what did I say? Another bomb is Sunday. I said, this isn't it. You know, I can't wait to see what the next bomb would be. Didn't know this would be the bomb. Stephanie White ain't playing fair. I have to say it again. Stephanie White is not playing fair. She on one.
Let's dive into A'ja Wilson's situation, because this is where things get even more entertaining. A'ja, who's often considered the face of the WNBA, just watched her close friend Sydney Colson leave Las Vegas to join Caitlin Clark in Indiana. Can you imagine waking up, scrolling through Twitter, and realizing your closest teammate just left to play with the very player you've been downplaying? Talk about a plot twist. The drama is real, but the craziest part, A'ja's no longer the central figure in this story. Caitlin Clark has taken the spotlight.
I was like in tears, y'all.
Let's be real. Sheryl Swoopes pumping up A'ja Wilson like she's the second coming of Michael Jordan is starting to sound a little desperate. Meanwhile, the Aces are crumbling faster than Angel Reese's shooting percentage. Sydney Colson's gone, key players are disappearing, and that so-called Aces dynasty is looking more unstable by the minute. As for A'ja, she's handling it. The only way she knows how posting dramatic tweets about crying and pretending everything's okay. Hate to break it to you, but it's not. While all this unfolds, Indiana is over here stacking talent like Thanos collecting Infinity Stones. Caitlin Clark isn't just a franchise player. She's the magnetic force drawing everyone to the Fever. Players want to play with her. They understand the vision, they see the future, and they feel that unstoppable momentum. And poor Sheryl? She's stuck in the past, still trying to convince herself that Caitlin Clark isn't the game changer she clearly is.
Indiana Fever are officially title contenders. Every day they have something new for us in free agency. And today it's Miss DeWanna Bonner. 6-time WNBA All-Star and WNBA champ, a veteran in this game, can pretty much do it all. Also an enforcer, nasty defense. Should I continue? We have a new starting five. Caitlin at the 1, Kelsey at the 2, DeWanna at the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, and Aaliyah Boston at the 5.
You already know Sheryl's about to start backpedaling. She's probably getting ready to hit us with the classic back in my day speech, acting like Caitlin Clark couldn't make it in the old WNBA. Oh really, Sheryl? Because nothing screams elite basketball like running around in oversized baggy, shorts, missing mid-range jumpers, and calling it fundamental. Please. The league has evolved, and Caitlin Clark is now the new standard.
Doesn't make any sense by any stretch of the imagination. In what way would you not want to play in Indiana, the place where you're getting sold out arenas, the most viewership on television, playing with a player who was top 3 in MVP voting as a rookie, who clearly elevates her teammates around her. She scores a lot, but she is also dishing out the ball, able to elevate everyone around her. Why wouldn't you want to be?
Sheryl keeps going on about how Caitlin Clark is only getting all this attention because of media hype. Funny, because that's exactly how ESPN helped make you the face of the league back in the day. It was all good when you were getting all the spotlight, but now that Caitlin's in the limelight, suddenly it's a problem. The logic just doesn't add up, Sheryl. It feels more like insecurity wrapped up in so-called analysis.
Say she wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Respectfully, there is absolutely no way, even when we're trying to sit here and play semantics about dominating, there's no way that anyone could ever leave this season in saying that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't dominate. You would have to further explain what dominance means for you to not sit here and say that a player who is leading the league in assists while averaging 19 to 20 points didn't dominate.
Meanwhile, the Fever are looking like a serious threat. While other teams are scrambling, Indiana is moving like a championship contender in the making. The Aces thought they had all the time in the world? Nope, that title window just slammed shut. Chicago is still trying to figure out their next move, and Connecticut is falling apart right before our eyes. But Indiana? They're here. They mean business, and they're coming for that trophy.
Right. Caitlin Clark is a polarizing figure. People gravitate towards her. It's okay. Caitlin Clark's success doesn't diminish what Sheryl Swoopes accomplished. Caitlin Clark's arrival doesn't diminish anything that they've done. I don't get this old guard. People wasn't phonetic. It wasn't buzzing. The WNBA, and people didn't talk about it like they do. Instead of being upset about it.
And that's exactly why Sheryl is spiraling. She sees what's happening, she knows. Caitlin Clark isn't just the future of the WNBA. She's already the present. She's the face of the league. And she's about to take over in a way no one has before. The way she pulls up from the logo like it's nothing, that's different. The way she threads passes that leave defenders completely clueless, that's special. The fact that she's already breaking records before her second season even starts, that's generational. When Caitlin Clark inevitably wins MVP in her second year, oh, the meltdown from Sheryl Swoopes is going to be something to behold. She'll be everywhere: podcasts, panels, interviews ranting about how the game was different in her time. Ma'am, your time is over. This is the Caitlin Clark era now, and the Fever are coming for that championship.
Thoughts on the $80 million Fever facility and Stephanie White being like, we're going to be aggressive in free agency, and massive names who are available. And I think, this is my bold prediction, the Indiana Fever are going to be playing for the WNBA title next year. Wow. They have their cornerstone pieces under rookie contract.
Caitlin Clark isn't just playing the game she's set to dominate it. She's gunning for the MVP, the championship, and the entire WNBA. And the Indiana Fever front office? They've been hard at work this offseason, making moves that are stacking the team up for success. Meanwhile, Sheryl Swoopes, lurking in the background, is watching all of this unfold like the antagonist in a movie, arms folded and mumbling, "This isn't right." Well, Sheryl, what's not right is the outdated narrative you've been pushing since Caitlin entered the league. But here's the deal. The WNBA doesn't need your validation. Caitlin Clark is already one of the biggest names in women's basketball, and Indiana is on the verge of running the league. If that doesn't sit well with you, you'd better get used to it. This is just the start. Agree? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Click on the video, and we'll catch you next time.